He doesn't have a mind-blowing six-pack. He's probably just under 20% body fat. He's not single-digit body fat. And are you going to argue with me that this guy doesn't look amazing? Coach Greg, and today we're going to be going over how Tom Ellis trains for the TV hit series Lucifer. Tom Ellis. For the most part, I almost always cover people who are jacked on PDs, but in this case, I do believe this guy is natural. You can debate me if you want, but I do believe that he has above average genetics and looks amazing. All too often, we are bombarded with social media images, movie stars, The Rock, and so on, and they look redonkulous, far greater muscle mass than normal people can achieve. This is still way above average. The average person that trains for 5 years is not going to look as good as this. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you the truth. Most people, even with hard work, are not going to look like this. You think most will, but they won't. The people who train for 5 years, it's a selective bias. Most people who train hard for 5 years, they have above average genetics. The ones that train for 2 years and get shitty results, they quit the gym. Not too many people stick to it. And so if you've been training for 5 years and you don't have a body like this, chances are you're not alone. Most people struggle to look this good. But enough of that, let's see how he trains for his movie roles. And keep in mind, this is a celebrity trainer, multi-millionaire. Is he training different than you or I, or does he do the same kind of workouts as regular folk? And you can see him walking out of the pool. He's lean, he's not fat, but he's not shredded. He doesn't have a mind-blowing six-pack. He's probably just under 20% body fat. He's not single-digit body fat. And are you going to argue with me that this guy doesn't look amazing? He's a movie star. This video alone has over 8 million views on Men's Health. This guy looks amazing. And so to look amazing, you don't need to have single-digit body fat. He's close to 20% and still looks fantastic.
So before I do any lifting, I like to start by having a good 20-minute warm-up on the treadmill. So I'll do 5 minutes of an easy, nice paced jog, and then I'll do intermittently 45 seconds of sprints.
Okay, so what do I think of that? Doesn't make any sense. A 20-minute warm-up wouldn't involve interval training. Interval training is something you warm up to get to. So what he's actually doing is he's warming up for 5 minutes, and then he's doing interval training, not quite HIIT training, but interval training, and getting his cardio in before his weights. What do I think of that? Bad move. You want to do your weights before your cardio. So what I would suggest, it would be better if he did his 5-minute cardio session to warm up the muscles, then did the weights, and then did the cardio after. If you do your cardio session first, you're not going to have as much energy to train hard in the gym after.
12 miles an hour for a sprint for 45 seconds, then take it back down to a walking pace for about 4 miles an hour. And I'll do that until I hit 20 minutes. And then I've got my blood pumping and I'm ready to go.
So if you give this workout a try, don't do it before you do the weights. 45 seconds of sprints at 12 miles per hour, that's moving really quick. That's a very fast run. That's a 5-minute mile pace. I can't even run a mile in 5 minutes. My fastest time ever was 4:57 for a mile way back 25 plus years ago. So for this guy to run a 5-minute mile pace for sets of 45 seconds, that is impressive. He is in fact a very good runner.
When we were getting in shape for Lucifer Season 4, I really wanted to gain some muscle mass. And so the best way to do that was consult my trainer, Paolo.
And for Season 4, his goal was, I want more muscle mass. So he got a celebrity trainer, and so the goal is hypertrophy. And you can see pictures up here. You see he has very good abdominals, good obliques. He's probably closer to 14% body fat in these photos. Very decent shape, but nowhere near single-digit body fat. Just because you can see abs doesn't mean you're shredded.
And basically, Paolo suggested that we were going to train 6 days a week, but we would do 4 days of it as an upper-lower body split using big compound movements, get the big muscles going.
And so to build muscle, he's decided to train his body 6 days a week doing an upper-lower body split. Well, what exactly is that? Well, it's exactly as it states. You do your upper body on one day and your lower body on another. That allows you to train your entire body in 2 days. What that means is he's training his entire body 3 times a week. So what does the research say? Well, the research says typically 2 to 3 times a week is ideal. So by training 6 days a week on an upper body, lower body split, he can do less volume. In total, 10 to 20 total hard sets per week per body part. So if he's training his upper body on 3 different days, he has to do less sets on each of those days. If he only trained 4 days a week, he would have to add more volume on any given day. So by training 6 days a week, it allows him to do his workout in 60 minutes or less. Doesn't have to spend all day in the gym because he's hitting his body parts 3 times per week. If he does 4 sets 3 times a week, that's 12 sets. That would be somewhere inside the 10 to 20 sets per week.
So when we're doing a bench press, we're working to try and build that lean muscle mass.
He's doing 4 sets of 8 to 10, and what I don't like seeing is the spotter helping on every single rep. It's the guy bench and set. The spotter should watch, make sure he doesn't get injured, that he can press the weight up. If he tears a pec, he can lift it off of him. You don't spot and lift the bar up on every set. You're not working out, he's working out. So if you need a spotter that early, the weight is too heavy. Lower the weight and make sure that you can get the reps on your own. Now, if you want to go to failure or do forced reps on the last set, you've been training and you're used to it, you're advanced, you want to go harder than last time, there's no problem in doing forced rep with your trainer. But for most people, I don't recommend the trainer ever touch the bar. If they can't do it on their own, it's too hard. You're there for an emergency.
Classic wide grip pull-up. Now, I couldn't do any of these at the beginning of the year, but a lot of practice, keep your core engaged, get under it nicely, and go for it.
And notice the improvements he's made. He wasn't even able to do a chin-up in the past, and now he can do 10. So he's doing sets of 6 to 10 reps. He starts with 10 when he's fresh, when the muscles are at their strongest, and every set after that, he's getting fatigued. So in set number 2, he usually only gets 8. Set number 3 and 4, he gets 6 reps. So what does that prove? It proves he's training hard. If he was training easy, he'd be able to get 4 sets of 10. The fact he can't get 10 on the second set and that the third set is even less, it shows that he's training hard. If you don't train hard, you're not going to get the results. So those of you who are going to the gym and doing 5 sets of 10 and you're getting 10 every single time, are you actually training hard? If you're a beginner, maybe intermediate, that's fine. You don't have to train that hard. But if you in fact have stopped making gains, are you in fact training hard enough? If you don't lose reps ever, then you're never pushing yourself. If you can get 10 reps on every single set, none of the sets were hard. My advice, train a bit harder and see what the results will bring.
Another great compound movement to get the shoulders fired up. I like to do this at the start of my upper body days. Is the overhead seated shoulder press.
So what you can see is he's doing compound movements that work a lot of muscle, not isolation movements. But what I don't like is, why is that personal trainer grabbing onto every bar? Why is he even there? I get it, he's there for an emergency to help him get the weight in place, but no one needs to grab your wrists and help you do the set. If you can't do the set with the weight selected, it's too heavy. Lighten the load. The spotter should stand behind and be ready. Maybe he can force out 1 or 2 reps at the end, but he shouldn't be there guiding every single rep on every single motion.
The slow contracting is just as important for the muscle building as doing it for the exercises quickly.
And I love the fact that he says go slower on the way down the eccentric motion, and he's getting good range of motion, but I just don't know, why is this trainer behind him? If anything, it looks like he's the trainer of the other guy. The trainer doesn't look like a trainer to me. Why is he standing there and doing this? Is it to look pretty in the camera? He's like, help me get the weights up. He swings the weight up with his biceps and front delt all on his own. He doesn't kick it up with his legs. I didn't see the spotter there to help lift it up. And then after it's already up, he then helps get it over his head on rep 1. He's fresh on rep 1. Doesn't need help. Be there if he needs it and spot from under the friggin' elbow. Right below the tricep. Don't grab the wrist. Push here if they need assistance.
So if you really want to carve out those shoulders, a great superset exercise to do with the overhead presses is the single arm cable lateral raise.
And he's doing side lateral supersets, and the note appears. Point your thumb up as you finish each rep. This is highly debatable. So some people are going to tell you to do side laterals pinky higher than the thumb, while another group of people are going to tell you thumb higher than pinky. What do I think? I think both options are fine. Some people are going to say the thumb higher than the pinky to put less strain on the shoulder. Other people raise the pinky higher than the thumb to put more emphasis on the side delt. Choice is yours. Not going to say one is better than the other. It really does depend. If you never have shoulder problems and you can raise the pinky higher than the thumb, do it. If you've got a lot of shoulder pains and it's a problem for you, then raise the thumb higher than the pinky. Perform 4 back-to-back supersets with seated overhead press. Okay, so here's the problem with this kind of a superset. I don't like supersets that involved unilateral movement, like one arm. So if you're doing the shoulder press after doing single arm raises, the problem is one shoulder is going to be more rested than the other. If I do a set of 12 with my right arm, and then a set of 12 with my left arm, and then grab 40-pound dumbbells, this arm's fresh because it had a break while this arm was training. The other arm, it just did a set. So you end up pressing, and by rep number 8, this arm's going up, and this one doesn't want to go up anymore. This one is more rested than the other. So for me, it's better to do supersets where both body parts are moving at the same time. So rather than doing a superset of single arm side laterals with overhead dumbbell shoulder press, I think it would be better to do overhead dumbbell shoulder press with dumbbell laterals, or use a machine so that you can use both arms at the same time. That way the left and the right side are both equally fatigued and get the same amount of stimulus for muscle growth to occur.
I'm going to use the classic single arm bicep curl, except we don't need heavy weights. People use heavy weights and they often cheat by swinging their bodies.
And so the thing with this is, why are we doing one arm at a time? He's saying don't cheat, so rather than using heavier dumbbells and cheating a little bit, and for me there's nothing wrong with that. It's not like your girlfriend, boyfriend, or circle. You can cheat when doing curls. It's not cheating on your girl, you're cheating on your curls. And it's not going to diminish your gains. Not cheating may in fact be hurting your gains. If you're doing a set of 12 on dumbbell curls, for example, do the first 8 super strict, and then once you're fatigued, swing just a little bit. Shouldn't look like you're about to do the limbo, but a little bit of body linkage is not going to hurt. But if you don't want to do that, maybe you have lower back problems, injured, and so on, you can in fact do more strict curls. Stand against the wall so that your butt, back, and head are against the wall, and curl slowly. But I don't see the benefit of having to do one arm at a time. It makes the set twice as long, twice as much pain, and you're only doing one arm at a time. Right arm up, down. Left arm up, down. I don't see the benefit of that versus doing both arms up, both arms down at the same time. I'm not really a fan of unilateral training when you can in fact do both at the same time.
One of the best exercises you can do on leg day is the classic squat. It fires up all the big muscles.
So in general, he focuses on the main areas, the muscle builders for hypertrophy. He doesn't do a lot of isolation stuff. On leg day, he favors the squats, the best exercise to big the legs, the glutes, the entire lower body. Do 4 sets of 10 and you're good to go.
It's not really, I haven't got any weights on today, but normally I'd stack it up with about 60 to 70 kilos. It's all about form and protecting your back. And
you see, it's not about lifting crazy amounts of weight. He uses 60 or 70 kilograms. 70 kilograms, 154 pounds. 154 pounds. You're thinking, well, he's been training celebrity, he probably can squat 300 pounds. No, he's squatting with 150 pounds and looks amazing. So when you go to the gym and you're thinking you're weak, it's because you're comparing yourself to the freaks. Most people probably on PEDs who are way stronger than you, or they have great genetics and been training for years. So if you can't lift a lot of weight, you're squatting with 115 pounds, that's not bad. This guy looks amazing. He's doing 155 and he has a celebrity trainer. So what chance do you have of squatting 300 pounds if you're natural and you don't know what you're doing, you don't have a trainer? Rather than complaining about your strength, just do the best that you can do.
Always have a good 10 to 15 minute stretch afterwards. I have to these days because I'm getting old and I need loads of this stuff. Keep hydrated, eat clean, and you'll see the difference.
It's great advice. Drink a lot of water, eat healthy, stretch after the gym. You don't want to get injured. We're getting older, losing flexibility. Take time, be patient, train harder than last time, and best of luck to you. ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching, Greg Doucette IB Pro. Please watch one of the bloops, harder than last time supplements, also meatless cookbook, regular cookbooks, all kinds of cookbooks. Be sure to click the link in the description. Also, training books, coaching plans by me and my team. We work on those together. Subscribe, click the bell button, and until next time, I'm out.